Enjoy this Wild Soul Gathering production. I'm Dr. Sandra Marie. Pour yourself a really tall glass of spiritual curiosity and join me for the Happy Hour for the Spiritually Curious podcast. In the spirit of happy hour, cheers to some new insights, peace, revitalization, and perhaps an aha moment that may change your life. Enjoy this Art of Nervous System Care Summit replay. Welcome to the session of Light Language, a sound that calms and heals. If light language is new to you, you're probably not alone. This is not a language of the mind. It is meant to analyze or make sense of. Instead, it's experienced much like music. You don't need to understand it for it to move you. This is a language of the soul. I'm joined today with Latonia Dixon, Kashiwagi, and Gloria Hunsberger, who each experience and express light language in their own unique way. Together, they're going to help us explore what happens when someone experiences light language without needing to understand it. Welcome. It's so good to have all three of you here at the summit.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Corey, I have a question for you. How do you personally understand or experience light language?
Well, that's a big question because there's kind of like every person can experience it. It's very personal. So we have like human language, like English that we're speaking, light language. And it's interesting because I believe that human speech, human language also can be considered a part of light language with the idea that we are made of light, we are energy. So any type of communication, any type of language might be considered a version of light language. Now, recently, the last few years, or maybe even before then, the idea of light language has taken more of a spiritual connotation. Like you said, not really it's something we use to communicate, but not really with our rational mind. More like soul to soul, heart to heart, or even nervous system to nervous system. And there's a basis, the olden days, they talk about like speaking in tongues, which could be considered a version of light language, I would say. But about 4 years ago or so, it's been interesting to me because in the spiritual community, there was just such a burst of growth in this whole idea of light language, speaking light language, using light language as a way to communicate, to express ourselves.
Okay, so for you, Corey, what are some other forms of vibrational or frequency work you've experienced before, and how does light language seem to differ from that?
Yeah, so I've studied other healing modalities, and it's so interesting because there's so many different types of healing modalities that are available and coming out now. A lot of the modalities, when you work with it, there's someone who does the modality and someone who receives it. And with light language, you can also, like when you go to a sound bath, you're receiving the energy of the music, of the vibrations, of the frequency. But with light language, you can receive it and you also are a creator, you can generate it. It comes from tapping within. And that whole area of sound healing has grown so much the last few years and continues to expand, using frequency and vibration as healing. And then now we're also getting into using our voice, us being the creator of frequency, of vibration, and tapping into something deeper than just from our thoughts and rational mind, using that.
Okay. So, Latanya, for you, my understanding is light language shows up spontaneously for most people. What was your experience with it?
Well,
Well,
my experience with it was, first of all, when I first experienced it, I didn't know what it was. I just thought it was sound that was so describable, and I know it to me, it felt like love, but it also felt neutral. And also, when I experienced the first time I experienced it was through meditation, and sometimes I would match or harmonize with that, but I had no name for it. I'm quite sure there's, people that do have spontaneous experience, possibly with the he was saying about the speaking of the tongues. Sometimes that may be spontaneous because it could just come out of nowhere. I guess I just wanna distinguish that with the light language, my understanding is it has no religious connection. It's just connecting with spirit, with source, and for me, it's also connecting with, I guess you can say, with the flowers. The last time we met is connecting with the stars, connecting with the earth. Is really, for me, is harmonizing with things such as their spirit of things. And it's very calming. It's very calming, it's very beautiful. It's the only word I can think of is love. I can't even explain. I could not even explain how vast that word is in a human's or a definition out of the dictionary. It's unexplainable. I can't explain it. It's
Okay.
just beautiful, and it's healing, and it's grounding.
So, Latanya, when the light language comes through you, what do you notice first in your body or your awareness? I believe you have a pretty intense experience with it, is my understanding.
What I actually, it's pretty neutral. What happens is my
Okay.
chakras line up. It's like I go to a different space. I guess I'm gonna use the word spirit, to a different space, like really connecting with spirit. And I don't have to necessarily sit here and meditate to do that. I can just go there if I wanted to. I'm trying to explain it here. But anyway, the chakras line up, the 7 powers in your body, but also the chakras that are above and outside of your body line up. The last time I saw the star tetrahedron there, it just depends.
Okay.
So, but it's harmonizing with love, harmonizing with something that is so profound and so beautiful that you cannot even explain it.
That's fair enough. I think that we're embarking on a lot of things that there's not a lot of language for. And it feels like everyone's having a really unique experience with us with a similar energy. So for you, Gloria, I feel like most people, they relate to the light language as a sound or a frequency.
Mhm.
But my understanding is sometimes it can show up as hand gestures and other forms. For you, how does the light language show up?
Well, for me, it initially showed up during my shamanic training that I had years ago in shamanic drumming. I saw symbols when I was did shamanic drumming. It's almost like you get into a place where you're one with everything, like all there is. And I started seeing symbols. And later on, I had light weaving where we we got to a place where we're totally connected from the energy of earth and energy of the heavens. And we start you just feel like I started to express some of those symbols on healing on people. Then from there I started to hear sounds, and I'm able to, that point, expressive voice-wise, but initially, mine was more symbols
Okay.
related.
Have you noticed that the language emerges more easily in certain states of like a calm or emotional release, stillness, or connection? I know Latanya mentioned the meditation. What have you noticed?
I noticed that when I get in a place where I feel just all connected, it might be, after meditation, or it might just be where I'm at during the day. And then I feel like when I'm connected to everything, I start getting maybe codes from, or I start seeing symbols. I hear it in the background and I'm able to voice it if I want to, but it's kind of personal type of thing that I feel like connected to everything, and everything is love type of thing, and I feel like a connection of love with everything and joy type of thing.
Yes, I'm noting the central theme here with that intense love that is hard to put into language. So I have so many curiosities around light language. But before we explore some of these, I would love to have each of you share your light language gift with the audience if you're open to that. Latonya, would you like to start?
Oh,
Come on, right
okay.
in the middle of the screen, girlfriend.
Sure.
Oh, come on.
Well, so you want to hear us do the light language is what you're saying.
Yeah, I
Okay, sure. Sure, no problem. Hmm. Did you want me to keep going?
yeah, just a little I have to tell you, when you just felt really transported by that, I'm sorry, I got really lost in there.
Well, that's what happens to me too.
If you would like to just continue a little bit, that would be
Okay,
fine, and then Corey will jump into you.
okay.
Beautiful. Latonia, before we move to Corey, if you had to name one word or sensation that light language brings back to you, what would it be? You look a little emotional there in a beautiful way.
Um, the healing of love. Mhm.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for that.
Thank you.
Corey, I'm going to ask, are you able to speak it or do you only sing it?
I speak it and sing it.
Could you
If
speak it to have the audience feel the difference between the speaking versus
Yeah.
the singing?
Yeah, I would love to. And I can also speak almost what I would call different dialects in a way to give people different experiences
Okay.
and maybe go into a little bit of singing there. So I'll start with what I guess is my normal or default light language here.
Okay.
Sho akana to e mana, maso ite ite kona anaha, aso e wana ta ohe. E wana o te wana kohe. E shona e te wana ato. To he na te kona e wana. Atone e she. E te e wana na o he e wana. Ai na hati e tuku na hana hoi. O shona ho. Ashwa shona he shamana. Shasho hiwa sha to te e wana ta. Ana toko kana ata so to e nanoan ana to e ta hakana o te. O she hana ha to he takana to she wanata. Tawana e te wana to kana o te hona she e mena to wana. Waha kone he. Waha ko he wana ha. Aso he kana to e ne e wana o. One hete. One hete wana na to. To kana ta kone e ne wa.
Corey, has your relationship with light language changed over time or does it feel consistent each time? That was like, I could feel that in my nervous system. Like I can't tell you what you said from a mind point, but I felt what you said, if that makes sense.
It makes perfect sense. I can't really say exactly what I had feelings, and it's really interesting because it is almost like, soul to soul, heart to heart, bypassing the rational mind and, even nervous system to nervous system. So the first time I heard light language, the rational mind said, "Oh, it's speech." And it's trying to figure out, "Oh, what is it saying? What's the meaning?" Which a lot of people do the first time they hear light language, but then after a moment, hopefully it shuts down and then we sink into our nervous system to feeling it instead and getting the feeling from the communication instead.
Beautiful. We're going to put Gloria up here. Hi, Gloria.
Hi.
Honestly, I can't believe how quickly the session went. We're almost to the end. I'll let you use whatever modality that is speaking to you at the moment.
Okay. 어디라 어디야 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 어디로 가 어디야 어디다 더 어디로 어디야.
So, Gloria, we're a little short on time, but I did want to ask you, does this expression feel intentional when you do it? Is it spontaneous, or does it fit somewhere in the middle of that?
It somewhere in the middle typically is more spontaneous.
Well, I want to thank all three of you, Latanya, Corey, Gloria, for sharing your experience. My curiosity is all over the place with this, and I would love to have expanded on this conversation, but our time has gone really quickly. So I will say that your offerings remind us that everything meaningful doesn't need words. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us for this episode of Wild Soul Gatherings Happy Hour for the Spiritually Curious. To learn more about our guests, please go to our website, wildsoulsgathering.com. We're very eager to hear from our listeners what you thought of the episode, topics you might like us to cover in the future, your thoughts on spirituality, questions you may have. Please feel free to send us an email at wildsoulsgathering@gmail.com. This is your host, Dr. Sandra Marie, sending each of you peace and love. Until we meet again, embrace your wild soul.